G'day guys, Butcher Jerd here. We've got these Tbones on special, 16 bucks a kilo this week, so a whole Tbone probably sets you back like, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks. So right now I'm going to show you something different. You don't have to just have Tbone steaks. You can buy a whole one, and this is how you cut it up. So firstly, you run along the trine bone there. We're just going down hard along that, and then we're flipping it over. So you can see how I feel it. You can see our strip loin or porterhouse or sirloin steak or whatever the bloody hell you want to call it. Depends where you are in the world. So we do the eye fillet first. I usually just mark the chine first. I don't know why. It's just what I've always learnt to do. And then I flip it over and we start with the fillet. So we're going up hard along the backbone here, pulling the meat towards you as we do. Then I flip it around. And look at that. Nice and easy. Just using the tip of my knife, just finding where the contour of that bone is and just following along. These bones are like a really flat rib bone. They're sort of like the, I guess they're your lumbar support sort of bones. So they're not quite ribs yet, but they're down there. So they're just flat and sort of curved, nearly like a half circle sort of shape. Anyway, pull that off, clean up the fillet. This is where your eye fillet comes from, or tenderloin, depending where you are in the world. This one's cut a bit short by the look of it. They cut that Tbone a bit short, but you get the idea. We'll only get probably maybe 3 or 4 good steaks out of this one, I imagine. That didn't work very well, did it, Jared? You can just probably pull that off. Usually you can't pull it off, but this is basically all tail, so we can pull it off pretty easily. So we get rid of the silver skin. Then you got your chain, as you can see, which with the chain we can just pull it straight off as well. And all that will just go into, sausage trim or mince trim, whatever we need really. Get our steaks. Tail it's a bit thin. We can butterfly that. Beautiful. So there's a steak sandwich. Some nice eye fillet steaks. 1, 2, 3. Soft as. Gorgeous. Then we go back to the strip. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to have a look at it first. The bones are a bit big for how small the cow is on this one, I suppose. So what we're going to do is we just expose the ends. And all that's doing is that's just helping us know where the bloody hell we're supposed to cut. So have a feel and go, all right, that top one's right at the top. That next one's a little bit underneath. If you go you're not angling your knife downwards, you're just angling it flat along the bone, so you can just get an idea of where you need to be, of where these cuts are going to be. So this tapers off pretty hard, so this bone now is really small, while the back bones, the bones closest to the camera, are really big. So we flip it up and run along it. So what I'm doing is I'm angling the knife towards those bones, towards myself, rather than the meat. So these bones aren't connected. They're actually like this 5 or 6 bones there with meat in between them, like intercostal meat. So you don't want to have it pointed too much at you because you can slip straight through. So you want to keep your hands above. So I keep my left hand above where the knife was going. And then all I did there was just scoot around that little bit. You can see the mark where I scooped around. And then all we're doing was flipping around. We're pulling, keeping our left hand away from the knife. See how the knife's in front of the hand? And we're just pulling it off that backbone there. There we go. Simple. So there's your bones, there's your vertebrae and everything. So just show you, there's that intercostal meat. See how it's got a big hole in the middle of it? You don't want to slip through that and get yourself. I've seen butchers do that before, so you just got to be careful. Just always, you don't need to wear gloves, it's raw meat. You don't need to wear, chain mesh. I don't know, I find chain mesh makes crap butchers. Just be aware of where your hands are and put your hands where they're meant to go. If you're cutting towards yourself, put your left hand on the left instead of in front of the knife. Simple. Anyway, on the front of that strip there's just a bit of tendons. It's just a little bit chewy, which we don't need, so we get rid of it. As you can tell, this fluoro fat, this is a grass-fed cow. Grass-fed, grass-finished. A little bit of marbling still, a little bit dark. I think it'll eat alright. And for these Tbones on 16 bucks, that's a pretty good deal. So you can cut these thick, thin, however the bloody hell you want. Steak sandwiches, or leave it as a roast, tie it up as a roast, do 2 roasts out of it, 1 roast out of it. Doesn't matter. When they're this cheap, you can do whatever the bloody hell you want. You can trim them up, you can not trim them up, you can face them, whatever else. They look pretty good. So we'll trim some up, just to give you an idea. Usually in a butcher shop, you trim about 6mm, 7mm fat. You can take the tail off if you want to. You can completely denude it if you want to. It's easy. Whatever you want to do, you can do. It's your piece of meat. But anyway, save the video. Hope it helps. And, you guys have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. We got how many pieces here? 15, 16? Anyway, have fun. See ya.